The 25th of May, Rabbi Levitt being substituted by Rabbi Globus. Gemora.
Hello.
Hello, Rabbi. I can't see you.
You can't see me, but you can hear me at least. Okay, let's see if we
Yes.
can get to this
Your
video to
beautiful book,
work.
which is illusory.
Okay, again. Oh, you know why?
I saw you for a second. There you are.
Okay, good. I just had my video camera hidden in the corner. Now, okay, good. So where are we? Anybody know where we are? We're somewhere on Yud Ches Amud Aleph after the Mishnah, right?
Yeah, that's where I have. I don't know exactly how far after the Mishnah we got.
So maybe we should just quickly review the Mishnah. It says Matzah, Gite Nashim, and then a few other things which we're not focusing on yet. Shichor
Right.
Vadim, Daitike, Matan, Shavar, Litnan.
Bill,
Somebody, some random person finds a get. Yeah, go ahead. What do
okay.
you want to say?
We said a get. We said a bill of emancipation, wills, gifts, receipts. Don't we?
Right. So for the meantime, we're focusing on the get. That's what the Gemora is talking about now. So I glossed over the other things because we're focusing on get now.
Right.
And the point is that if some random person finds it, you shouldn't return it. Why shouldn't you return it? Because maybe he never gave it.
Right.
So, but what if he says, yeah, I gave it?
Right.
What if he says, give it to her? Give it to her. It's okay. I did actually deliver this bill of divorce. So that's the question of the Gemora. Gemora, Taima, the Nimlach Shalolitanan. The reason we shouldn't return it is because maybe he changed his mind and never gave these documents. Amar Tanu, if he says give it to the person who claims he lost it. Nosnim, we will give it. But even if it's been a long time since this thing was lost. So then we have the kasha. So maybe you want to start up there at Reminu.
Sorry, where is it?
Reminu is 3 lines down from the Gemora.
It's 18A2, Roy, on the left-hand column.
18.
The third paragraph. The Gemora points out a contradiction. You see it?
18A2 on where?
18A2.
Oh, yes, I see. Yeah, I see that.
Okay, so Raminahu, they contrasted Chamevi get the Avad Heimenu. Let's see. He brought a get and he lost it. Mitzao the altar kasher. He found it immediately. If he found it immediately, then it's valid. I guess kasher in this case means that he should give it to her.
Yes, it's kosher for him to deliver to her. This is a shaliach. A shaliach who's on his way to do his appointed duty to deliver the get.
Right.
And he lost it. And then he found it immediately. So the get is still kosher to be given over.
Right. Imlav puzzle. If not, it's not valid. I guess that means if he doesn't find it immediately.
Right. And that's the kasha on the Mishnah. Mishnah says that the only requirement is that the guy says give it. And here we see that's not enough. It has to be found relatively quickly. Otherwise, we don't know that what was lost is what was found.
I don't see the mutual exclusivity here. Maybe it means both. If he did after a long time, and the husband says give it, then give it. If he finds it after a long time and the author doesn't say give it, then don't give it. If he finds it after a short time, then in any case give it. Why can't we that way?
Okay, so now I think that all those possibilities are like valid in the realm of possibility. Okay, but what the Gemora usually does is it takes the easiest reading of the Mishnah and then it bangs it around a little bit to see if it really stands up. So now what would be the easiest reading of the Mishnah? The easiest reading of the Mishnah would be that the only problem that the Mishnah said is maybe he was Nimlach. So once we solve the Nimlach problem, then we should be able to give the get.
Nimlach means?
Nimlach means changed his mind.
Oh.
The problem the Mishnah brings up with all the cases that it says don't give these things is there's a problem because he might have changed his mind and never given this document to the person who claims they lost it.
He doesn't need to lose it it doesn't need to be lost in order for the mind to change his mind.
So that's absolutely true. So we have to zero in on the situation. The situation is a document was found, and the supposed recipient says, "Oh, I dropped it," and the person who wrote it says, "No, I dropped it." So we might say to him, look, but you wrote, let's say, for instance, a divorce document. So we say to him, but why would you have dropped it? You wrote a divorce document to your wife. Obviously, you wanted to divorce her, right? So what does he tell us? He says, I changed my mind. I changed my mind, and therefore I never gave it to her, and it dropped from me, not from her.
So how come there were two of them, if there were two of them?
If there's two, then we have a real problem. One is from couple number one, and the other one is from couple number two. And that's actually what the Gemora is worried about. That's actually what the Gemora is worried about. But we have two couples with the same name. We have Yaakov Cohen married to Rachel Goldstein. They're like, fairly common names. And we happen to know that there are two couples with the same names in the town that the get was written in. And now, after a long time, they find the get that talks about Yaakov and Rachel. So we can't be sure it's the right couple. I see Louis scratching his head. He must be thinking about something.
Yeah, I had a comment before we got into the two couple thing.
Yeah.
And that is that I think we have a presumption here based on the Gemora's giving the case where the shliach loses it and finds it right away, and we say he should return it.
Yep.
I think that means we have to presume that the husband did not change his mind. Because if he changed his mind, it doesn't matter how long it takes to find it. When he finds it, he should not return it because the husband changed his mind.
How come we're not worried about Nimlach in such a case? I think that it's because we're not confronted with a situation that the husband says it fell for me and the wife says it fell for me. The shliach lost it, and then the shliach found it.
Right.
So there's no tainas over here. Nobody's saying I dropped it and I dropped it and you dropped it and you didn't.
Well, is the shliach? I'm sorry, I lost you. Say that again, please.
Say that again. Oh, the case, the kasha that the Gemora is asking in the Raminu is coming from a case where the shliach lost it and then found it, and there's no one contesting over here. There's no husband in the picture and no wife in the picture.
And that's the case of the Mishnah?
That's the case of the Raminu. That's the case of the Gemora, Hamevi Ged Ve'avad Emenu.
Okay, so it's not the case of the Mishnah.
No, it actually isn't. It's kind of different. It's kind of different. It's so different that you might wonder why it's even a kasha in the Mishnah.
Yeah, I'm wondering what you mean Raminahu. Why are we contrasting this if it's a completely different case?
Because it has something in common. It has the time factor. The time factor. That's what the Gemora is pushing on. The Gemora is pushing on the time. Say again.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I was going to say, what about the names? They're also the same.
Aha! The names are the same. So it says the names are the same. So we are going to see that since the names are the same, so if there was a time lapse, we will not allow this get to be given because of that, because the names are the same. So you know what? Let's keep going in the Gemora, and we're going to have to ask Lou to be patient, and we'll just go a little bit more in the Gemora, and then we'll try to put the whole thing together. I'm sorry, Reb Carr, tell me your first name again.
Roy.
Roy, good, because I see on the screen Chana, so it confuses me. I keep forgetting.
That's all right. I'm not one of those people who accept everything.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So we are where then?
Amar Rabba.
All right. Omar Rabba. Rabba said. We just said just before that we said this contradicts the inference from our Mishnah that a lost get may be used even if it is discovered long after its disappearance. The Rabba said, Lo Akasha is not a difficulty. Can here in that Mishnah that rules that a lost get may not be used unless it is recovered immediately. Bimkom Shayaros Mitsuyo os. will refer to a get found in a place where caravans are common. Therefore, we're concerned that the get was
Belong to a different couple.
That found a place where caravans are common. Therefore, we are concerned that the get that was found, no, I don't know. Oh, I see. Okay. I was getting lost with the setup of the text. Right. Therefore, we're concerned here that the get was found may have been lost by one of the travellers and not the agent who is claiming it.
Mm-hmm.
So here came is in our Mishnah, which implies that the get may be used even if found much later.
Mm-hmm.
Makom she'ain asher ros mitzios. We refer to a get found in a place where caravans are not common. Therefore,
Right.
we are not concerned for the possibility that an identical get held from a traveller.
And you know what? If you want to, you can keep going because they're going to extend the same idea. Va'afilu.
Va'afilu b'makom shehashayerus mitzvot. Now, even if the get was found, who shehuza tu shenai Yosef ben Shimon ba'ar achas. So even if the get was found in a place where caravans are common, Rabba's concern is that the get that was found may not be the get that was lost. And it's only if it has also been established that two men named Yosef ben Shimon, for example, reside in the same city, in a city named in the get, and they are married to two women with identical names.
Mm-hmm.
They love Tima for if you do not say so,
You know what? Let's stop here because then they're going to bring another kasha.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get what we read already. Let's straighten it out. And okay, so the Mishnah, getting back to the Mishnah says something about a get that was found. It was found by some random person, not by a shliach. It's just found by a random person, and the husband and wife are contesting who dropped it. The wife says, "I dropped it. I'm a divorcee, and I lost it, and please give it back to me so I can remarry." The husband says, "I dropped it." So we say, "What do you mean you dropped it? You wrote a get, obviously, to give to the wife, right?" He says, "Correct, but I changed my mind before I gave it to her, and therefore I never gave it to her because I changed my mind." So that's the only thing the Mishnah says is preventing us from returning the get to the lady, is that maybe the husband changed his mind. There's no other problems. Comes along the Gemora and says, there is another problem. Even if the husband would say, "I didn't change my mind, and I did give it to her, and you know what? Return her get. She deserves it. It belongs to her." So the Gemora says we still can't give it to her because maybe the get that this random person found isn't the get that he gave her. It may not be the get he gave her. So why would we give it to her? It's the wrong get.
Do we consider at all the idea that it's a very remote possibility that this would happen?
So that's why the Gemara says it goes into the whole the two okimtas that first of all it's only if their caravans are found in such a place, and second of all it's only if the town where the get originated has two couples of the same names. So that gives it a certain degree of likelihood. So you'll say it's still like 0.5% or less, right? Okay, so why all of a sudden are we so worried about it? I don't know. It's hard to understand sometimes with Gezeres Chachamim. Sometimes many times, Chazal make a decree and they tell us the reason, but the reason doesn't really make sense to us. I mean, they it sounds so unlikely.
Yeah.
Shas is full of this.
Yeah.
So they make decrees because of things that are so unlikely. So why did they make the decrees? So here we have to get into the philosophy of the law. Maybe they thought it was more likely than we think it is. Maybe in their time it was more likely for some reason. Okay, that's one theory. Okay, another theory is Chazal have a lot of reasons for the takanas, and they didn't tell us all the reasons. They only told us one reason. They said we're not happy with this. We don't like the idea. We don't like the idea of giving a get to a lady there's no clear connection between the get and the lady. Maybe it fell from someone else. Okay, you're right. It's a remote possibility, but they just didn't like the idea of giving a get to a lady when the connection between the two isn't clear. And they didn't tell us all their chashashas, all the things they were concerned with. That's Shitas Hagra, the Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon, he says that when Chazal make a decree, they don't tell us all the reasons.
I'm confused by the case, by the discussion about the caravan.
Okay, let's hear.
What difference does it make if there's a caravan or not? It could have been dropped by somebody in the town, so it could have been dropped by somebody in the caravan.
So who needs a caravan? Who needs a caravan even?
A caravan, yeah. Now, if you say town with the same name, then I
yeah. So I think the assumption is that in the place where it's found, we don't have two couples of the same name.
All right, but what's the chance that there happens to be a caravan and there happens to be a couple with the same name on the caravan? That's also a very small.
So we don't go on chances. If this is a place that we know caravans go through regularly, and we know that the place where the get originated has two couples of the same names, we're worried. Otherwise, we're not.
So the reason we're worried about a caravan is that if we know there's no couple with the same names in the town, we're not really worried about somebody in the town dropping it.
Right.
But if somebody in the caravan dropped it, we don't know whether there's somebody with the same name, so we're afraid that might be.
So if somebody if there's caravan, so then we have to check out where the place where the caravan came from. and see if there's really two couples of the same names there. Let's say it says that it came from Yerushalayim, and now the caravan is in Bnei Brak. Okay, so we have to go back to Yerushalayim. We have to send them an email or a telegram or something, or a pigeon, a messenger pigeon, and we have to ask them, are there two couples of the same names over there? So they look in the phone book and they say there are.
Okay, that would be much more substantial in my opinion.
Okay, that I really think that's what the Gemora is saying, and we can read the Rashis to make sure that that's really what it's saying. Who's our Rashi reader? Do we have an official Rashi reader?
Well, usually it's Phil, but if he's not here, I usually read it.
Okay. So let's see. So the first Rashi would be Ha'amar Tenu.
Okay, you want to give me a hint as to where it is?
Where is it? In my Gemara, it's about 2/3 of the way down in the Rashis. The bold quote Ha'amar is at the end of the line.
Yeah, I see it. Armar Tenu.
Right.
They said proceed. Tenu means to proceed.
Hold on just a minute. Does Roy have the place also? Roy, you have the place?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, good.
Just opposite where the grey bow begins.
Does that match with your book, Lou?
Yes, that's exactly where it is.
Okay, great.
On 18A2. Yeah. All right. So Achshav, Rashi says Achshav, meaning now.
But he says now, give it.
Meaning what? It was found right now?
It was found. Whenever it was found, it was found. And we asked the husband, hey, is it okay to give it? And he says yes. When does he say yes? He says now, after it was found, not beforehand.
I see. Okay. Notanin. Notanin is to give. Vafilu nimtza zman merubah misnafal
Mishenafal.
velo chayshinan shema get acher hu shemosehen shuin shavin u mi'adam achar nafal. Okay, so let's see what this means. Even if it was found in a time, a long time from when it fell, and it's not, what's chayshinan?
Concerned. Velo chayshinan. We are not concerned.
We're not concerned. We are not concerned that maybe the get, a different get, maybe it's a different get.
Mm-hmm.
Shemo Nahan Tehan that was given.
that their names, Sheshemosehem, that their names,
Oh,
those
the
of
names are the
of
same.
right,
Ume Adam Achar Ploni, Achar Nafal. And what's Me Adam?
and from a person.
And from a person after it fell.
So here we want to read it Acher, Adam Acher, and from a different person.
Person. We're not
It fell.
about that.
We're not worried about that. The Mishnah just says the only thing we're worried about is maybe he didn't give it. Implying we weren't worried that maybe the get that was found was from a different couple. That's what's implied by the Mishnah.
Right.
You asked, but maybe the Mishnah is worried about that also, right? That's what you asked originally, like way back, like half an hour ago. So we still didn't rule that out as a possibility, but the Gemora is just taking the Mishnah as it comes. Whatever it said, whatever it didn't say. If we have to accept your parish in the end, we will. But in the meantime, we would prefer to just say the Mishnah means what it says and nothing more. Only thing to worry about is maybe he changed his mind. No other problems. This seems to imply that we're not worried from a different couple, and even if the long time elapsed, that's it's a problem or a mini. And then we got into the whole kasha of the Mevi get, to the shaliach who brought a get, right?
Right.
Is everybody with me? Tell me if I'm talking too much. If I tell you things you already know, so just tell me.
I'm confused I'm confused. I'm not following you, unfortunately.
Okay, so let's see if we can put this together. I think you do follow. It's just that we went back a few steps, and that is what's confusing you, because we're now going through the Rashis.
Right.
So the Rashi that you just read said that we give the get if as long as he says we should. And Rashi is speaking out the problem with that. He's speaking out the problem with that. The problem with that is it implies, even if a long time elapsed between when the get was lost and when it was found, we will still give it. And we're not worried that it's two couples of the same name. That's what's weist ois. That's the inference. That's the inference from the Mishnah.
Why are we not worried about that? I thought we established that we were worried about that.
So the Gemara at this point is saying the Mishnah is glibly unworried and they should be worried. You're saying we established that we should be worried because you're thinking of the next line in the Gemara. You're thinking the next line in the Gemara where they present the kasha. At this point, we're just like setting up the kasha. So the actual kasha is the Raminhu, and on that we have the next Rashi, Metzia la'alter.
Okay, I see Raminhu.
So where is Metzia la'alter? On that same line, the last word of that line is Metzia.
I see it, yeah.
And you read it together with the first word on the next line. Metzia la'alter.
Right.
So what are we saying? We're saying we have a kasha. Somebody brought a get and it got lost. And if he found it immediately, mitzaula alter, then it's kasha. On that Rashi says, mitzaula alter.
Okay, so Hasam Mefarish Kidei Shit Avor Shira V'Tishra B'misoch
Uveto.
Uvetoch Kach Leka the Memar Mishaira Se'avara Sham Nafal Shahare Lo Shehei Shiur She Tachana. All right, so over there, it explained.
The Gemora explains this mission, the Mishnah that the Kash is coming from.
Kidei, in order that ta'avur, what's ta'avur?
Pass by. But your translation of Kedei is here. It means like I don't know how to translate it. In order for that. Here, over there, they explain that ma'atzal to la'alter, finding it immediately, means enough time for that, shetav or shayara, that a caravan can pass by. It's enough time so that's the, I guess that's that's the point, is you have to insert the word time.
Right. It's enough time that a caravan would pass. Ucheshara.
Vitishra, and settle down.
And settle down. Ubetoch kach, and